I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people.
The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Ventura 5470. Reports of shots fired at borderline. Shots fired at borderline.
Copy reports of shots fired at borderline.
Okay, Sammy, what are you reporting? Oh my God, borderline bar and grill. There's been, I don't know what's exactly going on. Guys, be careful. What is it?
What are you reporting?
Shooting. Please, quick. Shooting. There's a shooting at borderline.
Is anybody injured?
I don't know. We're hiding. The guy's probably still here.
How many people? Do you see the person with the gun?
I don't know. I can't see anything. I'm up in the attic.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kelly. We are back with another video. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy true crime stories, news, and politics, please hit that subscribe button for me, guys. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you are a returning listener or subscriber, thank you so much for being a friend as always. I really appreciate everything, and if you guys could like the video, if you like it, comment. I would love to know how you guys feel about this case. This is going to be a heavy one today, so please interact and let me know, guys. I really do appreciate all your feedback, and it really does help me out. So today we're on here to talk about a mass shooting that happened at this bar, Borderline, in California, and this was a few years back. And it kind of flew under the radar at the time, but when I heard about it, I wanted to come on here because it was a very tragic and mass casualty event. As you can see, 12 lives were lost. So we're going to get into some of this story, guys, and I would love to know if you guys had heard about this one. So let's get into it, y'all, without further ado. So again, warning, this is definitely going to be a heavy one. There's going to be 911 calls, some body cam footage, and other, obviously, footage from the scene of the crime there. So just be advised of that. So okay, guys, so this shooter, his name was Ian David Long. He was born March 27th, 1990, and he grew up with his mother. His father died from when he was very young, so he grew up obviously without a male role model in his life. He was from the Thousand Oaks area there in California, which is where this tragic event actually ended up happening. So school records showed he played baseball, and his coach stated after that he was a very intense person and he didn't seem like a happy kid. So after leaving high school, he signed up to the U.S. Marine Corps on August 4th, 2008 in Los Angeles. And while serving, he was married to a woman in June 2009 in Honolulu, Hawaii. And just over a year later, he was posted to Afghanistan on November 16th, 2010. And he came back on June 14th, 2011 with a combat action ribbon, meaning he saw combat. He wrote on a post on Shadow Spear, which is an online military forum, in March 2017, which was many years later, using the name Door Kicker 03. Okay. It said he was an infantry machine gunner for 4.5 years and an instructor in Okinawa, Japan. On March 2nd, 2013, records show he left the Marine Corps with the rank of corporal. So many news outlets reported that he probably had some form of PTSD, and this was evident in the postings, the online postings that he was later was discovered to have written. And some of these had to do with his disdain for civilians who he felt were mocking him and his service in Afghanistan, and or didn't appreciate his service as a U.S. soldier. And this was kind of exacerbated during his time in college. After leaving the armed forces, he enrolled in athletic training at California State University at Northridge. So he later wrote in that Shadow Spear forum that he was graduating with a BS in athletic training in 2 months. I found out a little too late that just wasn't the job for me. So just kind of, you know, from an outsider's perspective, it would seem to me that he was a person who was never really quite happy with the way that his life was going and the direction of his life. And it seemed like he was somebody who lived with a chip on his shoulder. This is just my, you know, unprofessional analysis, but this is what I was getting the impression of whenever I was reading about this killer. So the school later released a statement that he last attended class in 2016 and never actually graduated from his athletic training major. In May 2013, he actually ended up getting divorced from his wife, citing irreconcilable differences, and that they had been separated since 2011. So pretty short marriage, being that they got married in 2009 and separated in 2011. So a Ventura County Sheriff's spokesman told press that Long was known to police and had previously been involved in a traffic collision, which was only one of several encounters that the sheriffs had with him. He was also involved and was the victim of a battery at a local bar in 2015. And in April 2018, a neighbor made a 911 call about noise over at Long's home. He told the local affiliate it sounded like he was tearing down the walls of the house. It would start and then it would stop and then it would get really loud and I hear this shouting. So police showed up at this house after this 911 call, where he was living with his mother at the time. When they arrived at the home, he was somewhat irate and acting irrationally. And they also said that they called their crisis intervention team to the home and the mental health team, but they declined to take him to a psychiatric facility for involuntary commitment. Long's mother was said to have lived in fear of David and what he would do. She told neighbors she was concerned about her son, and she was kind of beside herself. She didn't know what to do because he wouldn't get help. So this would be a tragic foreshadowing into the events that led up to the day that he decided to walk into a bar that was filled with college students. And he took this as an opportunity to take out his frustrations and his anger on the people who he deemed to be most responsible for his ire and the subject of his disdain, which were college students who he felt had either mocked him or been flippant in regards to his service as a U.S. Marine Corps soldier during his time in Afghanistan. And this would appear to be the sole reason that he chose these victims and this specific location.
I'm Jeff Glore in Thousand Oaks, California, and this is our Western edition. The Borderline Bar and Grill is directly behind us, just behind those Sheriff's Department vehicles. And inside, last night, a night of dancing and country music ended when gunfire began. This is chilling new video from the scene. The shooter was a Marine combat veteran who is believed to have killed himself after taking 12 lives. Among the dead was a sheriff's sergeant. First responders and many others stood and paid their respects as his body was driven to the medical examiner's office. Carter Evans has been reporting on this story since late last night. He joins us now, and Carter, it's been an awful and chilling day here.
Yeah, horrific scene here. We were one of the first to arrive here on the scene last night, barely an hour after the shooting began. Survivors were still pouring out, and they were in shock. Most of them college students here for a night of dancing, which in a split second turned into a night of terror.
This dramatic video apparently shows the moments when a gunman opened fire inside a Thousand Oaks club.
Audio shots fired inside borderline.
The frantic radio calls began pouring in just before 11:30.
We got multiple people down. We need a lot of ambulance fire.
It was college night at the Borderline, a popular country western bar.
We were at the bar, having fun, dancing, and then all of a sudden you hear like the bang bang of the gunshots.
These women were two of nearly 200 trapped as celebration turned to chaos. A gunman dressed in all black stormed in with a .45 caliber Glock handgun. He first shot a security guard at the front entrance, deployed smoke bombs inside, then opened fire, shooting at random.
I heard the shots, and everyone kind of just got down and started freaking out, running around.
Inside, 11 lay dead, and panicked patrons scrambled for safety, some hiding in restrooms, others diving through windows.
Guys, run! Yo, he's coming out this door!
And our friends got the bar stools and they started slamming it against the window so we could get out. That's how we were able to get out.
Police arrived within 3 minutes, and 29-year veteran Sheriff Sergeant Ron Helis immediately confronted the gunman inside.
At the borderline, officer down.
I watched an officer get shot in front of me, and I had to help drag him and throw him into the back of the cop car. He was unresponsive.
Sergeant Helis became the 12th victim. Tim Dominguez was at the bar with his son.
He was a brave man to come into those shots because it was a scary situation for everyone. It really was.
Investigators identified the gunman as 28-year-old Ian David Long, a former Marine who had served in Afghanistan.
He's got 3 gunshot wounds to the chest and he's down.
Officers found him dead, his motive unclear.
I don't think it was random. He's a resident of this area, and I would have to, common sense would speculate that there's some reason he went here.
Government data suggests Thousand Oaks is the 3rd safest city in America. It's now the latest victim of mass violence, and for some here last night, it brought back a painful memory.
I was at the Las Vegas Route 91 mass shooting. It's a big thing for us. We all are a big family, and unfortunately, this family got hit twice.
The sheriff told us several of the patrons at the club were off-duty police officers. All of them were unarmed, but Jeff, he says, they jumped in front of some of the survivors there to protect them.
And Carter, as you mentioned, Thousand Oaks, home to a lot of law enforcement and veterans, was the 3rd safest community in America, according to that data.
And that to me is just so tragic, the fact that there were off-duty police officers, and this is one of the issues, not to make anything, political or anything like that, but I just truly do believe that responsible citizens who are armed in public save lives every single day. And if those officers had, been armed, it's possible that they could have, stopped him much sooner or caught him by surprise. And it is well known and well documented that people who are prone to do this sort of thing are less inclined to do so in areas where they know that people may be armed. So I just, it's a tragic thing. And, people that advocate for taking more guns away or making more areas gun-free zones, this is the problem with that. And so I do just want to point that out because I think that it is important. So what happened here was basically this man, he arrived at Borderline Bar and Grill shortly after 11 p.m. and on the night of November 7th, 2018, he killed one security guard and then shot the person who was posted up at the door, and then immediately tossed a smoke bomb into the restaurant to disable all of the patrons who were in there and to cause visibility issues. And this is when his true carnage actually began, where he opened fire into the crowd, ultimately injuring 18 and killing a total of 12 people. So people had to take cover underneath pool tables and wherever they could find any sort of cover from the barrage of gunfire that was being rained down inside of this bar. People were using bar stools to break second-story windows to get out of the bar because they could not find their way to the front door entrance. He was armed with a .45 Glock 21 handgun with an extended magazine, and he did not say anything when he entered the bar and began this attack. So after opening fire, he made his way into the back office, where he basically was using this as a vantage point, where there were also security cameras inside of this office, and he could see everything that was going on inside of the bar, and was basically laying in wait for police officers to enter the bar, where he would then open fire on these officers. So we're going to watch some of that video from the dash cam and from the officers making the first entrance right now.
What's the year of the vehicle? Registration?
2016.
Where? There's deputies right there. I'll let dispatch know. I know.
You want me to get the car here?
Yeah. Ventura, 70. Reporting shots fired at borderline. Shots fired at borderline.
906-1471.
Watch out! Oh, jump in!
There's a 41-471 response to 235. In progress at the borderline, 99 Williams Drive. At the heard gunshot fired, one person advising there's a subject inside shooting. 254-729. Our 10-3 also will respond that way.
Who told you that the shots fired? Is this report for you? Well, right now, hey, I got it, go. Do the officer reading. White male? Where's the last one? I don't want to go there. You guys get back!
It's the black semi-automatic. Does not have a
54-70. Audio shot fired inside borderline. You went there?
Yes, responding to borderline, the archivist doesn't just want to confirm shooting everybody. He is still inside the bar.
Where'd you guys go?
Get back! Get back!
To the right, park to west, bring your rifle.
Yes, responding to the borderline, we have one victim advised who was shot and bleeding at the entrance. Can I set a movement by your entry 3 and a set?
Can you have one of the units on the backside? Backside, business.
So this was Sergeant Helis, who was one of the first officers to actually breach the entrance, and he was the only officer who actually died in this entire shooting, which tragically, as it turned out, he was not even shot by the actual shooter. He was shot in a friendly crossfire by one of the other police officers who just, was shooting, trying to actually gun down the actual killer, but ended up tragically killing this man here.
It looks like there's a freeway on ramp. You could have gone over the wall of the fence toward the north. You ready?
And these are the other two officers who went in with him. So we're now going to be shown the CCTV footage from the outside of the bar and the suspect laying in wait in the office.
Step away!
And so what you see here is this is the stairs leading up to the front door. This is obviously an exterior shot of the building, as well as the very front of the door where they would normally check your ID and charge you to get in. You can see here where the officers are coming up and where the suspect is actually hiding inside of the office, which you can see him here facing the security cameras so he could see everything that was going on, and he would be able to quickly ambush these men as they walked in simply by stepping out of this office and basically shooting fish in a barrel as they walked into this entrance.
We're making entry.
Sir, you okay?
So here he notices that they're coming in. And remember, this is a trained Marine.
Watch your left. We got multiple people down. We got multiple people down. We need a lot of fire. 7-0. Advise. Multiple.
Unit 7-7. Not unit 7-7.
Shit, we got multiple guns already. We need to go in. I am. 14315 outside.
So at this point here, Officer Helis stumbles on his way to escape this gunfire, and at that point, the officers who did make it down the stairs, in the panic or in the commotion of everything, ended up shooting back towards the entrance of the door, mistakenly thinking that this might have been the suspect. And this man, as he was just shot by his fellow officers, is now laying here at the entrance of the door and ends up actually picking up his rifle, preparing to shoot the suspect if he were to come out at the front door. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Get out here, go. Barry! Quick, 147, right there, multiple shots being fired.
So he's shooting from right here. Oh my god.
Get out here, go.
So incredibly tragic the way that this man had to die. I mean, truly heroic though to take on this mission of entering a dark bar where you have no idea where your suspect is. And I believe he did get some rounds off at them. I just don't believe that he ever hit any of these officers. So let's look at some of the actual footage of just him. And I will link this site here where you can actually see all of the different links. There are different 911 calls and all kinds of stuff here from this shooting event. So I want to show you guys the actual office, and then we'll look at some of these other CCTV footages. I mean, just this sight of him lurking in this office, so calm, just casually scrolling through his phone, knowing he has just shot and killed multiple people, is truly chilling, and it's the stuff of nightmares.
No one that's reporting.
Yeah, I heard some gunshots on borderline.
Borderline, you heard gunshots?
Yeah.
You 1 second while I get the call started, okay? How many gunshots did you hear?
Well, it was like 6 or 8.
I would love to know what he is looking at on his phone in these moments. Like, what does one even do on their iPhone after committing a mass shooting and then lying in wait inside of a dark office for officers to arrive so you can try to assassinate as many of them as you can?
Thank you for holding. How can I help you? I'm still waiting for people. Okay. Are you in the bar? I'm not in the bar. I'm hiding in the bathroom. Okay, but you're still in the business of borderline, correct? I am. Okay. What is your name?
And this is when he pokes around the wall to shoot at the officers, and they return fire at him. But at that point, it's not even necessary. I don't believe they hit him at this point. I don't believe they hit him at all.
Is this something that you're seeing or just heard?
I just heard.
I move away from the parking lot.
Gotcha. Can I get your name?
Oh, there's still some gunshots, man.
I know. I hear you. What's your name?
And then he just goes back to scrolling on his phone. So now let's look at the exterior footage. Oh my gosh, what does he have there? I guess this is another smoke bomb. Yeah. Okay, so this is the exterior.
Okay, are you injured? I'm not injured. Okay, are you with anybody that's injured in the bathroom? Nobody in the bathroom is injured. Okay, how many people would you say are in the bathroom with you?
6 people.
Okay. 7 people? Are they all females or multiple males and females?
We have males and females.
Okay. And you're in the female bathroom, right?
Are we in the female or male bathroom? I think we're in the female bathroom.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's okay. Then I'll just put that you guys are in the bathroom, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Did you happen to see the shooter?
I did not.
Okay. So just so you know, we do have multiple deputies on scene and they're trying to secure the scene. Do you still hear shots being fired?
I no longer hear shots being fired.
Emergency, this is Jessica. What are you reporting?
Hi, I'm at Borderline. There's a shots fired right now.
Okay, did you see who shot the gun?
Yes.
Who?
Looks like a male white with a hat.
Okay, what kind of gun was it?
He shot about 8 times. Looks like a black semi-auto handgun. He's still shooting.
Okay.
Shooting in progress.
Where is he at Borderline?
He's inside the fucking bar.
I understand that. Do you see? Is he at the bar? Where specifically?
The front.
Okay. What is he wearing?
I'm outside now, so I can't see.
Okay. You said that he had a
hat. He's wearing a hat.
Okay, like a cowboy hat or a baseball hat?
Baseball hat.
Okay. Do you remember what color shirt he was wearing?
Hey, anyone see what color shirt he was wearing? What color shirt was he wearing? I don't know, unfortunately. I kind of booked it.
That's okay. Can I get your name?
He's still...
Are you injured?
No, I'm not injured. But we're going to need already standby on the other side.
I fully understand what you guys need. I don't need you to tell me. I just need you to say, like,
Okay,
are the injured people, are they outside or still inside?
These 911 call operators have the audacity.
He's still shooting.
I understand he's still shooting. Can you say approximately how many shots you've heard?
At least 10.
Okay.
It's smoke in the building, so I can't see inside now.
Okay. Stay outside and stay as safe as you can, okay? We do have help on the way.
Yep. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
911, what are you reporting?
There's been a shooting at Borderline in Thousand Oaks.
We have help on the way out there. Did you see it happen?
It's still happening.
Are they inside?
They're inside and now they're coming outside.
Okay, can you see what... Are you outside safe?
I'm outside. I'm in my car. We're driving away, but
okay.
So many people are running.
Okay, we have help on the way out there. Did you see what the guy looked like that had the gun? Was he white, Hispanic? How old is he?
No, ma'am. He was just at the front, and he's still after us.
Okay, what kind of gun was it? Was it an automatic?
I think it's an automatic.
What was your name? 911, this is Christy. What are you reporting?
Yeah, gunshots at Borderline in Thousand Oaks.
We have help on the way out there right now. Did you see it happen?
Okay, you need a lot.
We have a lot going. Did you see it happen? Is he still there?
Thank you.
Hello?
What's up?
Is he still there?
Yeah, there's gunshots still inside. I've been hit. I'm bleeding everywhere. People are running everywhere. My friends are inside.
Okay, we have help. Are you?
They're still going.
Okay, we're sending ambulances. Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at the front of the exit. Like in the front of the I'm going to be at the front of the entrance.
Okay, did you see what the man looked like that was shooting? Like how old he looked or anything?
I saw a gun. He was middle-aged man.
Middle-aged?
I saw a gun.
Okay,
Yeah,
did you tell if he was white or Hispanic or black?
He was white. He was white in a black shirt.
Okay, and was it a big gun or like a handgun?
It was a handgun. A small pistol.
Okay, and he was the only one shooting?
Trust me. Trust me, dude. What's up?
Was he the only one shooting, or was there more than one shooting?
Yeah, I only heard one gun going.
Okay, what was your name, sir? Okay, was he shooting at a lot of people or just one person?
Everybody that he could, I think.
Thank you for calling. We have help on the way out there.
Yes, sir. Right.
Okay, we have deputies on the way over there, okay?
Yeah, I'm just bleeding. Can you guys fix
Okay, we have ambulances coming out there too, okay?
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
So much.
Bye.
So, a truly horrific situation that is hard to describe. The amounts of trauma that this one man put so many people through that night. And eventually, after many more units had responded, and they were responding with SWAT teams, multiple different agencies, it all finally ended when the suspect actually took his own life inside of that office before the officers could actually get a hold of him and bring him to justice, which you can see in this body cam footage, or you can actually hear them call shots, one shot fired, which is the gunman killing himself.
I have civilians near the south. Can I send them your way for an exit?
Affirmative.
All right, Holmes.
That was the shot.
Have one shot.
So it's too bad, really, that he was such a coward to take his own life in such a way that, you know, would bring many questions for so many victims and just leave such a trail of terror and carnage in his wakes. It appeared to be for no other reason than he felt some sort of resentment towards college students, and I think more so resentment towards his own life and the way that nothing actually seemed to work out the way that he thought it should have for himself. He had a failed marriage. He had been to war in Afghanistan, and I'm sure had massive amounts of trauma related to his experience there. And this probably messed him up on a major level, which is also very tragic in and of itself. But then he took that and internalized it, and then had some sort of complex about the way that people viewed him as a U.S. soldier in California, which is known to be a more liberal state, and people maybe looked at him as being someone who was maybe more conservative or part of the establishment, being that he was a part of the U.S. Army. Either way, it was completely avoidable. This man was on a path to destruction, and it just seems so senseless that he would choose this and harm so many people in his tragic downward spiral and disappointment with his own life and his own existence. So he felt the need to take the lives of all of these people you see here. So I just want to go over the victims and who they were, and then we'll get on out of here, guys. So Sergeant Ron Helis was the Ventura County Sheriff's Office officer who was shot at the front entrance trying to actually stop this gunman. Sean Adler was a patron who was 48 years old. He was the security guard that was shot outside of the bar. I believe he was the very first person to have been killed by this gunman. Cody Kaufman, who was 22 years old, planning on serving in the U.S. military eventually. Blake Dingman, who was 21 years old. Jake Dunham, who was also 21 years old. Elena Housley, who was only 18 years old. Daniel Manrique, he was 33 years old, and he was also a veteran who had been deployed to Afghanistan as well in the Marine Corps. So just, I mean, the poetic justice, or the poetic nature of this being that there were several individuals that he ended up killing in his quest to make, students who had a negative view of the Army, he wanted to make them pay, but ended up killing his fellow servicemen and people who were actually had dreams of going and serving in the military, is just something that is so heartbreaking in retrospect. Justin Meek, was also a 23-year-old who was killed. Christina Morissette, who was the cashier that was the second person who was killed, who was working the door at this establishment, and she was 20 years old. Telemachus Orphanus, who was 27 years old. And then Noel Sparks was 21 years old. So those are the lives that were cut short by this madman, this killer, who could have just done everyone a favor and just taken care of himself, instead of subjecting all of these people to his violent tendencies and his murderous rage, brought on by his PTSD and his unjustified anger towards students who he felt had a personal issue with him. But what do you guys think about this one? I mean, this was a very disturbing case. All of the footage, the 911 calls, and just the magnitude of the crime and all of the victims that were made to suffer because of this one man is just horrifying. So what do y'all think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Have you heard about this mass shooting at all? And if not, what do you guys think? What do you make of it? I would love to know your thoughts. And please like the video. Also, if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And I really do appreciate you guys so very much for watching. So until next time, guys, y'all stay safe out there, stay vigilant, arm yourselves, I would say, and until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.
I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. If you mix brilliance with bravery, that we can ignite something. Even this conversation alone can ignite the people. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.